Happy Sunday, race fans. It's Sunday. That means it's race day. Here we are at Nordschleife at night. Oh, I picked a hell of a stream to come into the booth to just have some fun, hang out with chat, watch the final round, the final race in the Simpit GT3 League. And again, here we are at night. No lights. When you try to log on to Nordschleife, it gives you a big fat warning for this race condition saying, hey, there are no lights. Driver beware. That's how treacherous it's going to be. And it's the end of the season, which means, you know, any league at the end of the season, you have a lot fewer drivers than you do at the beginning. So we're talking about a huge track and a small amount of competitors. So unfortunately, it might not be the most exciting race of the year to be streaming, but we are here nonetheless. I have had this season off because my shoulder, it's actually shoulders, have been having a problem. So until I have gotten myself back to full strength, there is no racing. I say no racing. I can still drive. So I do the rally league because it's like 5 minutes, then 10 minutes, and then a break. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, then a break. So you know, I can still spend time in the rig and have my fun, but I can't sit there for an hour of intensity. That's for sure. All right, let's see. Spy in on Ameer's room. So what do we got going on? Well, first of all of you are here. I see PS4 Deadman is here. Tom Jones is here as well. Joe Dynamite is here, and Steven Dager. How you all doing? Happy Sunday. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. And let's see. I'm going to catch in with some chat. I'm just hanging out. We have no real serious agenda. Our championship in the pro class. Let's see if I can get some drivers on screen here. No, look, so right now, where is Heagy? Is Heagy? There's Heagy. Hasn't posted a lap in practice. Qualifying's coming up in a minute. That is our points leader, Joshua Heagy, sitting on pit lane. Randal White is P2 in the series. He's 11 points back. There he is, sitting on pit lane. He did run an 8:37 compared to our top time in practice as Joe Antonio on pit lane with an 8:20. But getting back to our big story, or what could happen. Heagy, by the nature of starting the race. Oh, looks like we're switching to qualifying. Oh,
I'm back.
Looks like Ameer's back. Hey, Ameer, how you doing?
Hi. I'm okay. You know, trying to survive the green hell.
The green hell. I am doing all right. I mean, I am just kind of chilling. I mean, I really am not here with much of an agenda other than kind of hanging out and being part of the final race of the season. Tom says, please put some pants on, Ameer.
I got shorts on.
Shorts. All right.
It's going to be hot.
Yeah, I should have put shorts on. Well, I'm not in the race. I can just pick up and go away. This is...
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
For anybody watching, I do not have any intention of calling the action. We're going to stay on top of what's going on in the race. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not here to call the race. I'm here to maybe spot for Ameer, but there's only going to be like 1 or 2 people around. You know, it's the biggest track in the world, and we have 20 people out here today. So there won't be a lot of spotter duty. I'm here to harass Ameer because, hey, that'll be fun. But
harass me at the worst track in the world?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a limit to how much I can do that in all fairness. I mean, the harassment for Ameer will be by pure nature of me being on the microphone in his ear talking to all of you while he races. So that will be the harassment that he endures for the most part. And then I'm here to interact with chat and just have a good time hanging out on a Sunday morning. So that is the game plan. That's what we're doing. Qualifying is starting up right now. It's an extended qualifying, which I forgot. And there won't be a lot to talk about probably during qualifying. So, like I said, we're just here chilling. I don't have an agenda. You can't depend on anything in this stream. So if you had your hopes up for anything in particular, I'm not sure we're going to fulfill it. Sorry. But we're going to have some fun nonetheless. At the start of the race, go to the helicopter cam. Alright, so yeah, we do have a couple cameras. Right above Ameer, that is his live cockpit view. So that is what's going on there. On the other one, we're looking at Joshua Heagy sitting on pit lane. He does need to start the race. He needs to finish 7th or better to finish first. Oh, there he is. He's rolling out. He must have heard me. Alright, let's go to most exciting. Oh, we got some Mustang action going on out there. That looks like Ola going around Ken Estep, if I'm not mistaken, and some Mustangs. You were hoping we would finally have a GTX 1080 Ti giveaway. Can't give away what you don't have, man. There are a lot of people who got in trouble for that. Doing giveaways of stuff they don't have. So we're gonna have to keep it in check. So yeah, right now we are waiting a while. It'll be a while till we see any lap times coming in. So we can just kind of go through the grid and look, there's now we got a picture-in-picture. Now you can see a picture-in-picture with Ameer. That's what's going on from his perspective. I didn't even map things. Normally if I was gonna be a broadcaster, I'd map a bunch of controls to go forward and backward and you know, maybe someday. Have I thought about the new 9060 XT16 gig? No. I have not. I'm gonna be really honest. Not to sound... I'm not here to bitch. This isn't a bitch fest. No, I'm like... I'm looking at the cost of a loaf of bread right now. And so, no, I'm not looking at a video card. You can't see his paint job. Yeah, well, I'm not sure if any of you have noticed. It is nighttime here at Nordschleife. Ameer, when you logged in, did you get that warning? Like, hey, there are no lights here. What are you doing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I did.
All right.
Just like how I like it.
Excuse me.
Nobody can see what you do in the dark.
That is true. I apparently have failed tech. Alright, let's see. Let's check in with some other drivers. We already took a look at Ola. Now we'll get a great look at Johnny Alford's paint job. Look at that. Oh, it's incredible. Whoever did that is a master painter for sure. I tell ya, it looks like I picked the wrong day to stop sniffing glue. And Tom Jones, I'm not going to repeat that. That's the ultimate thing to distract Ameer with, by the way, during the race. We'll just periodically all mention comments in the chat to see if he looks at them. Alright, that's enough of Johnny's car. You guys get a good look at it? Alright. There is McNeal. McNeal is part of our points battle. So, whoa! Hey now! Oh, man. You know, that's the other thing. I am not set up for this. We have no, oh my god, the button. I see the button on the ground way over there. Shit. I need to stop buying expensive keyboards and mice. Thomas suggests you don't have trading paints on. I do. I do. What do you mean? Control R. Some Control R. Wait. There we got white car. It's loading here. I gotta go get my mouse button. It's shot across the room. Ow! My back still hurts too. Gotta get the button before the dog does. Nah, he doesn't really eat stuff. Oh, buddy. I almost hit you. We're back. Yeah, well, me too, Tom. I made the mistake of buying a very expensive keyboard and mouse, and phew, that didn't go down. Alright, so Robert McNeal is second in points, and he only has a 4-point advantage over Travis Fleming. So that is going to be one of our storylines on the day. McNeal versus Fleming. There's Fleming. We'll get a shot at him here in a moment. He's not on track currently. Okay, hey, Tom, I gotta remember you wanted some helicopter cam action. Where's Fleming? Fleming is not out on track. All right, let's get a look at Dowling. James Dowling right now is sitting third in the points. He has a 6-point advantage over Nick Batista. You guys see some James Dowling there as I get caught up with chat. Joe Dynamite! You will be back next season. Rig won't be half apart. Nice. Very nice. Thank you so much, Joe Dynamite, everybody. Joe Dynamite, hero of the day. Thank you, Joe. Everyone give Joe a big pat on the back. Yes, Tom Jones, the funniest movie ever made. Literally. Our graphics are stellar here. We have great graphics here. We have no concerns on our video card here. We're on a water-cooled 2080 Ti, and for iRacing, that's more than enough, especially since I have it knocked down to single screen right now. We need a pat on the back emoji. Thank you, Joe. I'm hoping to be back next season. Oh, Tropic Thunder's a great movie. But no, I literally did look up what the funniest movie ever made was. And multiple different sites said Airplane. And it's just, it's joke per minute kind of thinking. I'm going to try to take a drink of my drink. And right before the stream started, I tried to take a drink of my drink, and I wrong piped and almost died. I want to see if Mr. Fleming is out on track. I'm a little concerned. He's not, and you know, and if Fleming is not, looking at the points, he steps a ways back, so he's really wrapped up third. It just matter whether he's going to put up a fight with McNeal for that second place overall in the championship. Now, I already talked about James Dowling, or we took a look at Dowling. Nick Batista is only 6 points back of James. So let's take a look. Oh, where's Nick? Nick's not here. Oh, there he is. Oh, look, I almost saw his paint there for a second. Did you? You guys catch that real quick? You're the dude disguised as the dude playing another dude? What's Joa doing? Oh, I see my fucking Steam chat turned on. I've only been trying to turn that on for a century, and it just now is like, oh, hey, this happened to me on my other computer. There's Joa. Looks like he's in the NSX. Oh, and look at that incredible paint job. Joe's out there wishing he had a Moza. I'm not sure if that's the case. No shade on Moza. But I'm not sure Joe is wishing he was on a Moza. The InSync NSX? INSX? NSX? Alright, should we see how this works out, you guys? Alright, hold on. Hold on. Alright, Ameer, no pressure, man. How you doing out there?
Good so far.
I'm sorry. I just had to mess. Just messing with you. I'm just preparing you for the moment. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now, Ameer, was that scary?
I'm about to meet your ass.
All right. Let's stop harassing Ameer. I told Ameer my intention of the day was probably be harassing him a bit. And he's like, why on earth would you harass me at the most dangerous track on earth? And I didn't want to tell him, but the answer was, well, that's exactly why. I don't know that song. Not running today. No, Tony, my shoulder is... I am in rehabilitation mode. I'm not allowed to sim race I mean, I know even an hour is considered a sprint race, but it's like, you know, all the practice and then an hour race, and an hour race is just about 20 minutes longer than my shoulder can take. And right now I just need to really get my shoulder back so I can do the things I want to do. Well, we're not going to say his name out loud, Tom. That's when it becomes a problem. Like when he's in full focus mode. We can talk about anything and he doesn't care. So. Well, to an extent, Tom, I mean, for me, as I tense up my shoulder, it just puts the strain. Now, I mean, I think because it's the cause of what's going on, that's bad. I mean, generally speaking, if you have frozen shoulder and you start doing research on it, you'll find that activity is the best thing you can do, and actually pushing beyond the pain. You're not hurting, you're not damaging. There's nothing damaged with a frozen shoulder, so you can't hurt it. Like, it's not like a strain or a muscle pull or a tear where, like, you can re-injure it or make it worse. In this case, you actually want to do it's counterintuitive. So usually you have a pain and you'll, like, isolate it, and that's not what you want to do in this case. However, that doesn't mean do the exercise that caused it all to go wrong. And I actually have it in both shoulders, just in slightly different ways. But so yeah, no league races. You know, I could do like a Miata sprint race. I could do rally racing. I can do practice for this type of stuff, but I just can't do the race. And I mean, honestly, it'll probably still be over a month. It might be as much as 3 months to get this fully cured before I'll be back. And I'm not being 100% great about it. I'm being okay about it. I need to do more of my physical therapy and rehabilitation, and then I really do need to get some more activity in my life. It's so Tom, like, no one hears about it until they're over 50. Funny enough. And when you read about it, that's part of it. That's funny that you say it, but it's like, nobody knows that, about it, and then you get over 50, that's when it sets in, or can. And it's actually really common. So I have the Moza force feedback joystick. You could use that to steer instead of the wheel to save your shoulder, but still race. And Joe, great idea. I actually do have one of those around here. I haven't even gotten to it. I need to. Sadly, it's something I'm eager to try out as a shifter and a flight stick. I don't think I have the flight stick attachments. I think I only have the shifter attachments. You could run this track for more than, because you get bored on normal circuits. It takes a real perfectionist mentality. You know, a typical, 1 to 2 mile circuit. Because you have to really, like, thrive on the idea of doing a better job on every single corner every time you come around. Or if you know the car really well, maybe it's like to manage your tires well enough to not fall off over the course of 30 laps could be the fun. So for me, perfectionism is the fun of road racing, whether there's anyone around me or not. Yeah, Tom, I do. I just keep running into embargo, problems. So since we're just here, Ameer, again, remember, I started to tell you this, you are not there. If you need me to shut up, you're on a different mic than everybody else. I can turn off the mic and just talk to you when I want to, versus you just listening to everything.
You're good, buddy.
Okay. Say that now. You're just using this as a blanket excuse for when it all goes to shit later. You can be like, yeah, well, freaking Shaun sitting there talking to the chat about wet blankets and rabbit holes. Alright, let's see. When you get a chance, gotta try. So yeah, Tom, I keep going from embargo date to embargo date, and I came back from Indiana, and I was like, alright, I want to get my world back to like a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, get my weekends back, and that hasn't happened. And now I'm just like, I'm currently, right now as we speak, late on a piece. And then I was like, I gotta get my list, my date list together and really get ahead of it somehow right now. It's very important to me. Yeah, exactly. Damn it, Shaun, shut up. I had this race won until you started blabbing. Alright, let's see if we got any times coming in yet. We do indeed. Joe Antonio, he was only at 8:20 in practice. He ran an 8:18 and then ducked into the pits and said, hey, I don't even need that last 5 minutes. I got this. Heagy's sitting P2. So our point leader in the championship sitting P2 with an 8:22. Our very own Ameer, don't bother me while I'm racing Assad, sitting P3 with an 8:23, 8:13. Dowling and Batista round out the top 5. And the only times that have posted, so we'll see how many grid up. Oh, look at this spectacular view I've left you all with. I know Ameer's still on track. Here, let's test out that helicopter cam. Chopper. Why do they call it a chopper? That's so stupid. Why is it not called helicopter? Chopper cam. I expect, like, some Harley. It's the Harley cam. Blah, 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 blah. Did you guys start on wet tires? I hear that new cheat code for iRacing. I don't know about that, Tim. Yeah, I didn't even load a setup. I'm not racing. I mean, we could. but there's really no point. Yeah, we knew Ameer would be up there. That's a pretty cool view. I'm not gonna lie, that's a cool view, man. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. It's kind of sucky. That's sketchy. I'm watching his picture-in-picture. Actually, that would have to be picture-in-picture-in-picture. That's picture to the third, people. Team Redline started on wet tires. The car set 2.5 millimeters. Then they towed to the pit and changed tires. They quit, but iRacing knows, and it's news. Is that right? Well, hey, I'm not defending cheating, but I question if that's cheating. Especially since there have been very few endurance races since the game began. Since rain was introduced, there have been very few races that have not had rain. So if I was going to run an endurance, I would know that our car was good for in the rain. So if it does allow you to go 2.5 inches, millimeters lower, and that advantage is substantial enough to make up the difference of going into the pits that early, then I would say that's less of a rule breaking than what went on in Formula 1 at Monaco. Does it get light by the end of the race? No, I don't think it is. What time is it? It is midnight. We're coming up on midnight right now. Yeah, that's a good exploit. Honestly. Absolutely, Callum. Alright, out of time. 12 minutes to get your lap done, it looks like. Yeah, it's interesting, Tim. Why'd they quit? They're in big trouble? Well... Did the rules say they can't do that? I'm not defending them, by the way, but it's interesting when we decide to care or not care. Alright, Ameer jumping up to P2.
On race setup.
With an 8:22. 4 seconds slower than Joa.
I didn't use a quali setup. I wasn't even going to bother.
Let's not say that you can do it. Yeah, well, and that's when they rewrite rules, right? I mean, that's exactly how it works. You write out a rule book. You know, and I said this on the pit stop on Friday. It might have been the week before. we're at an era in the legal system and in professional sports where, if anybody watched the movie Moneyball, you could almost say this is like the beginning of that mentality. It's like, well, what if you just look at every part of the game, not just the finances, but every minute, every second of the game, and break it down to the odds like Vegas would. And you think about all the micro betting in Vegas right now, and that might even be partially responsible for the way we look at things like sports now. And if it is not written in the rule book that you can't do it, that means you can do it. And then it's on the sanctioning body to come back with a rule the very next day saying, oh, no, you can't put a suction vacuum fan on the bottom of your car. No. You think they quit because guys noticed instead of getting a DQ, they just withdrew. So yeah, that's sort of self penalty. I mean, what do you do? They pulled their, it's not no. Maybe they realized it was not going to be allowed. The rules for 50 for most tracks. Yeah, well, again, it's.
I don't do no to do something like that they knew about it and they exploited it. Now is it? Every team cheats, or they try to get into the gray area.
That's what I'd say. I mean.
Yep.
I mean, in iRacing, the rule book is mostly what you can and cannot click, right? I mean, that's 99% of our rules is what we can and cannot click. And if they may, and again, I get back to this. Why would you not set your car up for wet conditions if doing an endurance race? And you might be, I don't know, I haven't done the testing, but you might be able to even argue that you're better off saving your wet tires with a good setup than over wearing your good tires with the wet setup on them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you cool, we would have started the race with our wet setup anyway. So maybe that was the argument by them. It's like, well, we were doing that because we wanted our wet setup, but we couldn't run wet tires, but we obviously had to start with wet tires to run on our wet setup. Right? I mean, that seems reasonable. Yeah. I mean, every race that I've watched in iRacing has had rain endurance races.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an exploit that's been known for a while. So it's not like it's anything new. It just, some red line got caught red-handed. Ooh.
Yeah. But is it illegal? Again, in iRacing, if you can click it, is it illegal? What if somebody didn't know at all? I go into Nords, I click on setup, I switch tires, I low. Right now, look at that, failed tech. That is my only way of knowing. Here I am.
Yeah, I would argue, okay, what if the race did start in the wet and it dried up, and then they put dry tires on, and now are they illegal now, or are they not?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Right?
Yeah, because they're going to be low by 20 millimeters.
Please remember when passing, please pass safely. I will do my best to leave a hole.
I don't think that's
good luck, everybody. Welcome back, and thank you for showing up to the final race of the season.
I'm a button to chat.
Good luck, everybody.
My steering wheel is over there. Hey, Max, don't shh in the house.
Say.
Good luck, Ameer.
Thank you, buddy. We'll see.
Snet it.
Send it?
Send it.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to send it.
Do the thing.
I don't want to die here.
Hey, Ameer, Josh, thinking that they had that timer remaining there, he went to the restroom real quick.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
That's our points leader. Oh, definitely, Tim. I mean, that's a big deal. Remember when Williams did their cheating thing? Who wants to live forever?
Right?
It's not as easy a question as that, Tim. I mean, you give me Elon's money and I would like to live forever. Or until I say so otherwise. Forever? No. You know what? You couldn't want that, because someday the Earth will be gone. So unless you figured out a way to safely go away, if you live forever, then you're just sort of floating in space or stuck on a dead rock. And if you live forever, does that mean you don't have to eat? Cheaters want to live forever. Good luck, everybody, from Alash. They can't hear me, Alash. Only Ameer. Ameer, let's check in with Ameer. Let's check in with our driver, Ameer. Ameer Assad, how you doing, buddy? How you doing?
You know, we're doing our startup procedure right now. I'm driving side by side with Joa. Right behind me, I've got Nick Batista. So, yeah, it's gonna be,
Now, how much will the full parade lap affect fuel mileage?
it shouldn't affect it much.
You're not doing a full parade lap.
No.
Can you imagine?
I know.
Alright, well, what do you expect at the start here?
Carnage.
Now, Joa qualified remarkably quick in a qualifying trim, it looks like. But you were pretty fast in race trim. What do you think's going to happen when that safety car gets out of the way?
In practice, me and Joe were pretty much on par, like lap times. So
Practice?
yeah, me and him did some practice together.
Oh, you got to get into the rally mindset. You just run and gun,
For
man.
this race?
For all racing. Rallies changed my life.
Oh, not for this race.
Oh yeah, I don't practice.
All right, I gotta focus here.
All right. We gotta leave him alone. All right, let's watch the start. That's Joe to the inside in the teal car. This is the last time we're gonna see him under the lights. Joe gets a good jump, going down the front stretch. Ameer tucks in behind. Oh, Ameer shoots to the inside, making Joe nervous. Joe didn't get too nervous. Gets his braking done in turn one. Into the left, right. Ameer almost giving him a kiss to the rear.
Oh, I did.
Oh,
My bad, James.
and it looked like we have something went on back in the grid somewhere. Should we look for some... Look back, see what we can see? Where's my mouse when you need it? Heagy, Batista, White, Sarnquist, Alford, David Payne, McNeal, Van Morik, Estep, Fleming. Oh, Fleming might have missed the start. Brutal, James Dowling. All right, there's Joa out in the lead again. This might be the best camera angle for today. Alright, so up above Ameer's head, that is his in-car camera. So we watch him in pursuit of Joe Antonio. The big camera up above me, that's a helicopter cam on Joa and what he's got going on. Let's hope not, Alesh. Hopefully not too much carnage. I don't know. Look at Ameer. Ameer's getting right up on him. Get up on him.
Go ahead. Take your drop.
Joe, I made a mistake.
Did you say steak?
I did say steak.
Oh, that sounds good. So, speaking of steak, and again, how's this day gonna be? I'm not here to call the race.
Oh, almost lost it there.
Your turn, James.
I
Thanks, Ken.
made a brisket the other day. Tom, you probably don't know what a brisket is. No, you don't know what a tri-tip is. You know what brisket is. You don't know what a tri-tip is. It's not a Texas thing. I cooked up a brisket the other day. And I am really a good cook. And I'm actually particularly good with red meat. Sure, Joe. That sounds good. Let's do that. In fact, I'll even leave the little thing up so we can tell who we're watching, since we're using wide-out cam. That's Alfred, Johnny Alfred, currently P7. Our scoring's going to be a little off because of the length of laps here. So I made a brisket, and it was really, really, really tough. I was really heartbroken.
Just go ahead.
Oh, that was, I think we heard David Payne letting Wouter Van Morik go by. Preferring he go by, it sounds like. Anyway, my brisket came out really tough. And I was very disappointed. Number one, brisket's a moderately expensive cut of meat. Number two, this was going to be a few days worth of food. Number three, it was supposed to be delicious, and it was not. So I had like 2.5, 3 pounds of it left over after our very mediocre dinner. And I had been planning on doing some like French dip beef sandwiches and some other things with the leftovers. But I was like, oh, should I just throw that leather shoe away or what? I mean, am I going to eat that thing? And I was like, well, or I could just chop it up and throw it in a crock pot and make it as some chili. So I grabbed a couple of my favorite chili recipes, came up with a hybrid of seasoning from the two, dumped it in a crock pot, and made up what turned out to be absolutely delicious chili. Yay! Then the other night, I went to go get some flat steak. I was going to do some, like, street taco type, soft taco thing. So I was going to get some flat steak, flank steak. Skirt steak, not flanks. I was going to get some skirt steak. That's more marbled than flank steak, right? And so, yeah, I was going to do that, and I was at the market, and well, the butcher, because it's not the market, and
Thank you.
they're having a really good deal on hanger steak, which I'd never even heard of, to be honest with you. And so, like, I don't know much about a cow. Maybe somebody else out there can help me. I don't know, but I think that brisket is like the really rectangular part of that cut of the cow, and they probably get a couple of briskets off of that section. And then I think the end that's like weirdly shaped, and because it goes to a different muscle, is the tri-tip. That's my hunch because of the way they're very similar in so many ways. And I wonder if that's just the same cut, because like different parts have ends that are different than the main part, so we call it something else and we trim it off. Alright, anyway, I think hanger steak might be like the end of the skirt steak, because it was like these long, skinny, very marbled things. But anyway, made some delicious street tacos. What's the difference between street taco and non-street? Venue. I made them and we went out to the street to eat them. It's purely where you eat them, Callum. Actually, these weren't even technically street tacos because they're flour soft taco tortillas, versus street tacos properly should be on like a little corn tortilla. And street taco basically I think really means just simple. So it's going to be a corn tortilla, your choice of meat, maybe a teeny bit of lettuce. Oh, we have Carnage. Oh, car. Oh, let's get some replay.
I'm sorry about that, Joe. Over the.
Oh, no, other way. Someone ended up in the wall. Ola. No. Here's Ola in the green car. And looks like Nick Batista had a little issue. Ola gets a run to the outside, inside to outside here. Oh, and then they do come together, and that puts Ola into the wall. And then right behind is Johnny Alford, the real recipient. He has to check up. And his car just goes around and into the wall. Not too hard, though. I think he'll be alright. He's still running, it looks like. Alright, we'll go back to most exciting. Google have images of every part of the cow. Yeah, you know, Joe, I need to look at that, actually. Yeah, so again, street taco, you just have your meat, maybe a little bit of onion, and maybe a little bit, usually not even that, usually just like some salsa or maybe some cheese. They're just really basic and small. And you'll get like 3 of them for like $6. Thank you, did I not? I did not. Thank you, Joe. Not very, I used to do this all the time as far as commentating and broadcasting. I got a lot of rust. I don't know if I did or didn't, but thank you. I'll take any reminder I can get. Alright, so let's see, what's our running order? Running order right now still is Joa Antonio out in front. Those glowing yellow lights of that NSX. This blue and white paint job that you can almost see. That part of the track. Ameer Assad, not too far back, a little ways back. Not sure if you can see Joa's tail lights up, and I think just on some of the longer straightaways you can see him up ahead. So still in sight for Ameer, sitting P2. Heagy sitting P3. Anything better than a 7th place finish, and he will have our championship secured. So he's looking good sitting in 3rd right now. Ola Sarnquist running P4 after that incident. P5 is Nick Batista, followed by Johnny Alford, who has survived that encounter with the wall. Randal White, 2nd place in points right now, is currently running P6, so that actually betters Heagy's chance, because that 7th place actually required Randall winning. Wouter Van Morik currently running P8. P9, James Dowling having a little bit of an off day, sitting P9. James has been currently running like average of 4th place, I think, every race in points. Our top amateur at this point in season series points leading in the amateur group is David Payne, with McNeal back behind him about 8 seconds. And then we got Fleming, who apparently is on pit lane. We got Ken East up on pit lane. And the Cole Bros are just here to do some commentary. So, Tony, I don't want to turn this conversation gross, but I have a million questions on that topic. How do I phrase these without it becoming a gross discussion? So, when you get... Is it literally, do they just give you the whole thing and you have to... Or do they... How much do they break it down for you is my question. The other thing I had heard, and I don't know if this is true, if you raise your own cow, I heard that you can take it to a place and they'll take care of everything, but it costs you half of the cow. So they'll do all the work and give you half of the cow's meat back, ready to go. But they get the other half to be able to sell in their store or whatever. Is that true? Goes to the butcher and you get it frozen. And is it like cut into steaks, or is like, I mean, is it like a tenderloin is this much, or is it 10 tenderloins? Or is the tenderloin still connected to something else? How big is a full brisket? You pick the cow at the farm and pay the butcher. I am going to be there one day, Tony, doing that. That's my plan. Couple of problems to my plan. I don't want to do anything too gross. I'm not a hunter, and I don't really want to be. So when I get to the off-grid, it's a partial off-grid. Cause yeah, I can't eat deer. Deer isn't like a meat. I like cow. And I don't mind raising cow, but I can't. I won't name them because I want to eat them, but I can't take it from being a cow in my yard to being a steak on my plate. I can raise a cow and I can eat a steak. Nothing else in between. And then the other thing I was thinking on the produce level, man, I don't know. So I eat a lot of lettuce, potato, and onion. And it's like, how can you grow enough of those three to feed even just me? I'd need a whole farm and a whole plot of land just to grow enough potato and onion and lettuce. You get 4 briskets, 12 filet mignons, 80 pounds of chopped meat. And then you get a bunch of T-bones and a porterhouse, and you get it all. And so, oh. No, well, I mean, you don't get attached to the ones you want to eat. I would imagine that's difficult in some cases. But then, like, I might have, like, my milking cows that I can get a little more attached to, right? I don't know how that all works. I have a lot to learn. I have a lot to learn before I get to my plan. Yeah, you start making your own soap and all that. What's up, Max? I'm sorry, buddy. Alright, Joa's holding a 2.1 second lead. We're looking for an update.
I made a mistake in one of the corners.
Yeah. We're gonna get that update right here, right now. Oh, it's grown to a 5.2 seconds. Heagy was 5 seconds back at Joa and is now 10 seconds back. Nah, Tim, that's not for here. That's for our eventual plan. Our plan is to acquire, you know, a not huge, but not tiny piece of land.
Sorry, Nick.
That would be like, you know, maybe 10 years till they start thinking about putting electricity near us. So hopefully we'll have spring, a well. We'll have to have money to install solar. We'll have to probably have a backup water tank just in case the well ever has an issue. And then start raising our own foods one by one. I mean, I'm not a farmer. I've grown some things. So we're gonna have to learn how to make that happen right and efficiently. And then we'll have to make some decisions about the other food. Like, you know, like, I'll have to figure out where I can get like 50-pound drums of flour so I can make my own like pasta and stuff like that. And figure out what we can grow versus what we'll need. Like, I'll probably need a lot of rice. Start eating a lot, you know, 50-pound drums of rice and flour, and I'll have to, you know, drive 2 hours into town to go to Costco to get it. Yeah, I can't do that part, Tim. I don't want to. And that kind of throws a kink in the chain of the whole how far off-grid can you go. And I am about 10 years behind on this plan because we should be, like, preparing it now. Beefalo. I've heard of but never done beefalo, I must say.
Ah, no.
Oh. Did that scare you, Ameer?
Yes.
That looks scary. Are we not on most exciting, or are you just Mr. Excitement? Oh, we have some racing on track. There we go. That's, Alfred and Batista still going at it a little bit, I think. Yeah, but lean meat isn't good. Lean meat, like Wagyu beef, is extremely fatty, right? The fat is where the beauty of meat is. Beefalos are those big girls at your job. Ouch. Ouch. Large Marge, the beefalo. Yeah, lean is tough. Like my brisket. What a horror show that brisket was. I'm so pissed. But again, I got 10 servings of really good chili after it. That was on after eating dinner that night. But I really did have my heart set on some French dip beef. Alright, who's that? That was Alfred getting around Batista. That's what we just saw there going on. Alfred taking over, or taking back that 5th position. Where are all the wrecks? Not with this pro group. Some of those girls are 300 pounds or more. Ouch. That would eclipse me. Now, Joa is leading the race. Joa is actually 7 points back of Nick Batista. That could be close. Joa might be looking at... It's going to be close. Nick's in 5th place right now. So right now, I think if things stayed as is... Oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be real close. It'd be popular for me, Tom. I'd like that. Nah, you can't do that for a final event in a serious season that runs one car class like we have. But I mean, you can have a league that has a little bit more variety to it, but when you're such a strict rule set as we've had here, you can't really do that. Oh, you lost me at pinto beans. Oh, we're not talking chili. Wait. Maybe you are. Brandon Carl, how you doing, buddy? I don't like beans in my chili. George of the jungle. Alright, let's see. Where's Joe? Joe's coming to the line. Looks like he's going to be completing lap number 4. Or 3, I'm sorry. On lap number 4. And Ameer is now 7.4 seconds back, losing a little bit more time. Heagy. Back to 14 seconds back of Ameer. Hola. There he is through turn 1. Hey, Pirate Dredger, how you doing, buddy? Brandon Carl, you bought a camper today. Oh, another thing I'd like. I'd love to have a camper. What? How big? Toy hauler? Regular? 5th wheel? Pull behind? Drive it? Motorhome style? What'd you get yourself? What year? We are all at the green hell. Alright, we're going to go back to most exciting. There's Joa out front. He's the most exciting at the moment. Ran an 8:19 on his last lap. That's pretty fast for race trim. And now he's about to go through Mont Blanc corner. Yep. Coming up on the 30-minute mark. We will see drivers needing to go to pit lane for their one required pit stop. It's a 2003 pull behind, but it sits on permanent lot on a campsite. You bought it to leave it at that spot? Like it's like there and you got the campsite with the camper? Joa, the king of all racing disciplines. He's the Boris Said of our series, of our community. I heard Joa once say there's nothing he can't do in a race car. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'm assuming it's at a good spot you like visiting? What are you gonna do at your campsite? You fish? You hunt? Scoring for last night's shifter kart racing on GT7 is happening. Huh? You finished about 8. Oh, I got it. See, that was the other part of the plan of buying a piece of land, was having a space to go, you know, camping, so to speak, but like, no, it's our land. To just get away from it all. Have a bonfire on our property. You go there to drink. Alright. Hell yeah! Alright, 30 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. Stare at the campfire, tell stories, and drink. Man, it is hard to argue with that being a great plan. We're checking in with Randal White, currently running P7. Second place in points. Really not in jeopardy of falling backward in points. It was just a matter of whether he was going to be able to give Heagy a go. And it looks like outside of Heagy having some kind of catastrophic problem, that won't be the issue. Heagy right now running P3. Get a shot at him. Our soon-to-be champion, 30 minutes away from securing his championship. Again, if you're joining late, above Ameer is his in-car camera, so you're seeing what he's seeing out there on track. And then above me, we're just kind of trying to keep in with what's going on out there on the track, how things are playing out in the race. As Joa Antonio and the yellow lights of that NSX lead the way. Lot came with a golf cart, built-in deck, and an aluminum awning that the camper itself sits under. Oh, that's pretty cool. Congratulations, Brandon. That sounds really fun. It's him. And that drove you indoors. Yeah. There was a time that I wouldn't have gone camping without my Gran Turismo. I figured out some way to bring enough battery backup power or something and a mini TV or whatever, but I'm going anywhere. I'm bringing my console with me. And that's that. And that's a fact. Alright, we should have pit stops coming up. I think it's going to be... I think people are going to have to err on the side of safety because of the length of a lap here. So I'd almost predict Joe would come in this lap. I think that's what I would do. On the gold. The Gold Coast. Gold We Camp. No Wi-Fi. No Wi-Fi? So when I do my adventure trips, we're often out of internet range. But I usually bring like 30 hours of movies or comedic routines on my cell phone. And I'll always have a backup battery, you know, one of those like little battery banks. I'll have a battery bank. So yeah, I can, when I go into my tent at night, I can sit there and watch movies. And we'll, oh, look, there's Joe on pit lane. Did I call it or what? For a guy barely paying attention, I... Pirate Dredger? No way! Whoa! Where are you? Where do you do it? I'm super jealous. If we really, really want to get into my dream, I would like my piece of land to have the potential to have gold on it, and I want to be able to pan and set up a sluice, and yeah. Man, my Fridays are all about gold mining on Discovery Channel. Ameer ducked into the pits as well. Oh, so did Heagy. 1, 2, 3 into the pits. Joe is away. Ameer's still holding. Still holding. How you doing, Ameer? Heagy beats Ameer out of the pits. Oh no! Look at that. Heagy, did he get enough fuel? How did he do that? Ameer looks very disappointed, people. Did you see that? You're in Scotland. You're a judger, so you get gold, others don't. 16 feet down. Oh, you get it for them? I thought we had a Tony Beats here in our mitts. You notice that, huh, Tim? Did we miss a crash? I don't think most exciting will change with... If I rewind, I don't think most exciting will switch drivers. You work for you. Okay. So you're tunneling. You're doing 16 feet down. Like, what, are you tunneling? Or are you, like, doing a, you know, like a little mini quarry or something? In Scotland. I didn't know Scotland was rich in gold. Yeah, I'd like to find some gold-rich ground. You know, not that wouldn't cost a mere fortune here, by the way, in California. I want gold-rich ground that has natural spring and land to grow crops and raise cattle. Let me find that $5 million I have laying around. My brother and I have even thought of doing like a gold panning. So they do allow you to pan for gold in certain areas of California. And it has to be all manual hand panning. And my brother and I have thought about doing that on like a camping vacation just for the fun of it. Because, I don't know, maybe we'll get lucky, you never know. It's been some big winters Yeah, exactly, Tim. If I could just go back in time. There's still gold in them hills. They didn't get it all. I just think that California made it very difficult to start a mining operation. So it makes it even more difficult, I believe, to go after it here. You know, they used to have a thing at Knott's Berry Farm where you'd go and you'd pan for gold, and it was like you'd pay, right? And it was like they had these little troughs with like sandy water running, and it was kind of almost like one of those like buying a bag of pay dirt. You know, it's like you're guaranteed to come out of there with something, but certainly not much. You can hook me up with real prospectors in California. I'd love to know what that entails. I mean, every time I watch a gold show, it sounds like it costs a lot of money. But yeah, gold, it's like if I had money, I would go after gold, or I would do it as a hobby to an extent. I can see getting very consumed with it. And I watch those shows and I get mad because I know as much about it as the people I'm watching, and I'm like, why do you fools not like, why don't you watch these shows yourselves to realize you're doing it wrong? Like, those ripples don't look right, your angle's wrong. Why are you after to backhoe the clogging spot on your feeder? Why does your spray bar suck? How come your rocks aren't bouncing in your Tremel? I mean, you need to get some action on them things so you can get them cleaned off. Oh my god, Pirate Dredger, you gotta send me a link to your channel. I'll totally watch it. Yeah, Tim, like many other things, right? It's exactly how you make millions in racing. How do you make $10 million in racing? Wow, you start with 100 million. Alright, we have 19 minutes. Hey, the Mr. Excitement's going all over. It's going wild, looking for excitement. There's Heagy. He's gonna be scored in P2. Ameer's in hot pursuit, though. Ameer's like, I ain't. That still isn't sitting right with me. It'll be interesting when we get to the line this time by. I think I'm gonna take a little 5-minute break here in a second. We'll come back for the rest of this race. So we watch Joe out in front. 9.2. No, that was the last time by, and that was to Ameer. That was before our pit rotations or a funky scoring lap. So it'll be very interesting this time by to see where we stand. Trying to figure out where on the track he is. I think he's at that very fast section coming to the very end of the lap, maybe. Yeah, we might get a scoring. We'll wait for that. Awesome. Yeah, we literally are going to do that. Yeah, I know it. Here we go. He's coming to the final zigzaggies before the re-entry to the main track. We're going to see how he is and what our timing and scoring is, and then I'm going to take a quick break, everybody. So here comes Joe to the line, this time by. He's now, that was lap 5, he's now on lap 6. And here comes Heagy to the line. 14 seconds back. And Ameer is just 2 seconds back of Heagy at this point. So that is our closest battle. And if you look in that above Ameer in-car, I can see the flickering headlights of Heagy just up ahead of him. So I think I'm going to leave us here with most exciting, which should probably bounce around to those guys mostly. Yep, there we are in Heagy. They're the closest battle on track, I do believe. And yeah, I'm going to step away, take about a 5-minute break. I'll be right back, and then we'll have about 10 minutes left to go in this race.
Oh my! What happened? Oh, my game crashed. Great! My game crashed. I get taken out, and I got crashed. Shaun should have stayed here and kept on yapping. Oh my gosh. Now you just got me to yap. Yeah, I guess so. I think there was only like one more lap to go. Yeah, I think there was only like one more lap to go too. Dang it. Oh, I don't have controls over anything, Pirate. Shaun's the one that's at the helm. Well, you know, I kind of went into that corner. I was going to turn, and then I got quite a bit of understeer, so I ended up going off track. As I rejoined the track, here I came with the Ford Mustang, just plowed right through me and took me out, and I crashed. Yeah. Unfortunate. What can you do? That's kind of just how. This is kind of how my season's been this year. It just no luck whatsoever. So, yeah, with the, yeah, because I disconnected.
What happened to Ameer?
Can you tell me how many championships a Ford Mustang has won compared to a Porsche, Tim?
What happened, Ameer?
You can watch the replay. Yeah, Tim, when you tell me how many times a Mustang's won Nordschleife compared to a Porsche, then we can talk.
Oh. Your car looks unhealthy.
Yeah, just a little bit, you know. I think she'll buff right out, though, you know. A little bit of elbow grease. We'll get it right out.
Oh, here we go. Who's on your butt? Oh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Whoops. Oh, this hola.
You're gonna go with me to blame, Ola? I don't care how Mustang GTD, how fast it laps in Nordschleife. Did it win a 24-hour race? It hasn't. Once it wins a 24-hour race, then we can talk. All those manufacturers that put lap times at the Nürburgring, they all cheat. They do all weird things with their cars. You can take their lap times with a grain of salt. Yeah, it could be fourth, fifth, first. It doesn't matter. Once it wins a bunch of championships, then we can talk. Until then, you ain't got a leg to stand on, Tim. It's a Ford, found on the road dead. That's what it's good for.
Oh, bitter tongue Ameer.
I know.
All right, well, with that means Heagy is firmly in second all alone. Alfred in third. Joe Antonio still leading the way. Here we go. Joe Antonio currently on his 7th lap. 5 minutes remaining on the counter.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing we're going to be looking at a lap and a half to the end here. Joshua Heagy running P2. There he is, out there all alone at this point. Johnny Alford running P3. And I can't even tell what anyone's driving because it's so dark.
Right.
Nick Batista, BMW, I saw the logo. Running P4. Ooh, Randal White. Right behind him. And Van Morik is right behind him. So we do have a pretty good battle going on, 4th, 5th, and 6th place. Dowling's not even that far back of that group. And then from there back, we have some troubles.
I think I'm the only one in the pits. Yeah.
So there's Batista, currently P4. A whole mirror full of Randal White in pursuit as the time clicks away.
Look at IMSA this year. That's fine. And I watched DTM today, and BMW and Porsche beat Mustang by far. I mean, I could look at. You can say that about any race series. There's going to be a car that's always going to be better.
The Miata.
Except for the Miata.
Best car.
Somebody needs to put the Miata out of its misery, buddy. It's over.
Not only is it a great racing machine, but it's the 3rd most reliable car on Earth.
Just because you can't drive it fast.
Well, can't break itself. You know it's never fared well at a Lemons race?
What's that?
Mustang.
Yeah?
Yeah, never seen a Mustang do well at Lemons. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to get into that whole thing there. All right.
Yeah, I mean, when you really never really know what's going to be the best car in IMSA or WC just because of the BOP. And sometimes the BOP favors one car, sometimes it favors another car. Like you need a race series where where the team or the car people can just go buck wild with the car. That's why I like DTM, because like there's not really a BOP. Just the car, manufacturers can do whatever they want within the rules.
Do what we want.
Yeah, I think they just add ballast. I don't know if they even add ballast anymore.
All right, so looking at the clock, Joa out there on lap number 7. 2 minutes left on the clock. He's through the 2nd carousel, looking the shallow carousel. Which means he is going to get to the line before that clock runs out. I don't know how the computer's going to handle that. Is it smart?
It should be.
So Mustang is the best lemon? Well,
Well, I mean, yeah, because it's always found on the side of the road.
yeah. Shelby's. I don't know if you find a lot of Shelby's in the scrapyard, though. You know,
Yeah,
despite the reputation, Mustangs are so popular.
about to say, like most people, like will dig a Shelby out of the junkyard if it is in the junkyard and restore it back to what it was.
And then they go to Cars and Coffee and loop it into a tree.
Right.
Oh.
I mean, that's all you got to do to make sure you can beat a Mustang's. You know, throw some people in front of it.
All right, Joe's coming to the line. 50 seconds left. I'm not seeing any white flags. Means 2 laps to go. I gotta eat lunch. I don't have time for 2 laps. You'd like a muscle car Corvette? I think gas be a little expensive where you are. We buy by the gallon because of how much they chug. If you have to buy gas by the liter, you probably might not want a muscle car. Just saying. Ameer, you're back on track?
Yeah, I'm not a quitter.
Just a crasher?
Yes.
Tim, you're gonna go rallying after this? It's Rally Sunday for Tim. Yeah, I mean, when they stopped putting steel bumpers on cars, everything changed. So, that would be, 70s through 80s. I mean, I had an IROC Z, but that car was a plastic car. Driving Alpha, she's greedy. Yes, they are. In many ways, Alphas are greedy at the mechanic, aren't they? We were looking that up the other day. Isn't the Giulia like one of the most unreliable cars out there? Gorgeous. One of the best looking sedans, though. Julia Gulia. Now that's funny. Joa making it look easy ran an 8:20 on his last lap. My back hurts. I'd like to not sit in this chair for a while. Ah. Is that better? Yeah. Oh, it's an RBR weekend. You got all your stuff dialed in sweet. Maybe the best rally with the worst graphics. Yeah, it's tough when we have a game like that to like hold up in memory. So one thing that iRacing had going for it is on day one it was a better game than NASCAR 2003 ever was, so we weren't sitting there reminiscing. But for a long time you had people like, oh, Grand Prix Legends, right? But yeah, it's tough in the rally world when we have Richard Burns Rally, which, depending on the mods you were running, was the greatest rally game ever made. And is to this day. Now, I don't think that means that everybody should go grab it and play it, because I don't think everyone will feel that way about it. But to the hardcore cult fan following of the game, there's no denying its importance, relevance, and perhaps even still dominance. But, graphics are king of the video game industry. Your car is a Q line. I don't know the Q line. That's got to be a Euro. We don't get a lot of Alphas here in the States. Alfa Romeo Q line. look up the cuts of cow. Oh, that's a cool look. Oh, wait, no, it pulled up a Lexus LC. I'm not sure what model that is. Like a Q4? I like the little... it's very unclear. Cow cuts of meat. Let's see here. That one's too basic. We need one that really spells it out well. Maybe this one. Chug. Here's skirt steak, flank steak. Brisket, flat cut. Where's the tri-tip then? Ah, there it is. No, it's a totally different part. Tri-tip is part of the sirloin section. Interesting. Let's see. Where is Joa? Obviously, timer has expired.
This is the final lap.
It is?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing any of that. I got no flags. Where are my flags? Mito, 165 horsepower in a tiny car. That sounds fun.
Thanks, Randy.
Interesting, Tim. A Mito. Let's look up Mito. Mito.
I see Joe off there in the distance.
Oh, it's like a little...
There's Devil's Diner off to the side where they make really good burgers.
Talking a little hot hatch.
I could go for a burger right now.
I go for burger. I'm gonna make a pizza as soon as this timer hits 0. Or the timer...
There's a camping area.
As soon as Joa gets the line, I'm gonna go get lunch. I'm dying. Oh, he's flashing lights. Here
So
comes...
in 2 weeks, I'll be at the 24-hour race watching it.
Joe Antonio winning the season finale at Nordschleife. Great job, Joe. Really good run. There's Ameer Assad finishing your lap down, I'm assuming.
2 laps down. Yep.
And there's Heagy finishing P2. There's our second place finisher. And our season champion, Joshua Heagy. Let's hear it for Joshua. Really great season. Scoring in the top 3 virtually all season long. Great run by him here today, finishing second and all season long, wrapping up the championship and winning the Simpit GT3 Road Racing Series.
Yeah. Good job, guys. Yeah. So I think David Payne ended up winning
I believe so. Let's get a
the
shot.
amateur
David
class.
Payne. There's David
Yeah.
Payne still out on track. He's got a significant
All-
lead in the points.
Yeah. All David had to do was finish the race. That's all, and he would take the championship.
Now, we had McNeal and Fleming. Oh, but Fleming is nowhere on the board.
Yeah.
So McNeal's going to finish second in amateur. Where's McNeal?
Thanks, Tim.
McNeal's actually going to win an amateur today. But it's still going to leave him in second in points.
Yep.
Oh, whoa, whoa!
Whoa, what happened? What happened?
McNeal had a little incident with the wall there on the final lap.
Oh.
Might have spoke too soon. Oh, he stopped. Fleming's
Hell, I didn't
out.
even- yeah.
Fleming's out, so it's okay. It won't affect points. So David Payne is actually going to win the amateur division today, it looks like. And with that, he's already won the
What
championship.
happened
But
to Randal? You ran out of fuel, Randal.
I missed that.
He did?
Oh. The fans are demanding
Almost.
an
I think
Ameer
it was
riot
critical
of
because it
sorts.
slowed down.
Oh, I'm all rioted out right now. I'm tired.
I'm tired.
That race took a lot out of me, man. Whew.
You know what's harder than racing?
What's that?
Hold that, James.
Commentating.
I am sorry for those
You
guys.
weren't even commentating. You were talking about
and
steak
that
and
was my
brisket
So,
and
but
God
it
knows
was-
what else.
That's difficult. That's hard work.
No
That's
problem.
not hard.
Being
Hard work be like, oh my gosh, RHO is in front with Ameer following right behind. He's 2 seconds behind, and he's trying to catch him. Can he catch him? I don't know if he can. Oh, go through those corners. It looks like Ameer lost a couple tenths of a second right there. That's commentating.
Ugh, who wants that?
I don't know. That's what they do in all the race streams, right?
It's all fake.
Oh no, there goes Ameer into the wall. He lost it. He lost his chance at second place.
That's fake.
Oh, what a tough time for KA Motorsports with their driver Ameer Assad into the wall.
Have you ever seen the behind the scenes of that? They do all that, and then the cameras go off, and those guys are like, "Oh, no one even cares."
Oh man. Yeah, I think we. Yeah, I'll say congrats to. Congrats to Joshua Heagy for winning the championship, the pro championship. David Payne winning the amateur championship. I'll get their trophies done this week so we can. Well, actually, I won't be at the Friday show. Dang it. Did Shaun leave me?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. What was I saying? Yeah, I guess I won't be able to show them off this Friday.
No.
Yeah, but I have to finish printing. I got to print off their names, put their names on the trophies, and then I think not this Friday, but next Friday we'll do our random winners. I got 2 prizes for random winners.
All right.
Yeah.
You mean I could win?
No, you didn't race, so you don't count.
I raced.
Yeah, but you didn't race 8 races.
Oh, you have to run 8,
Yeah.
so I'm not eligible.
Nope.
I was on injured reserve.
I mean, I'm lucky if I keep you as a pro driver next season.
I would I would really question that guy. Well, at least this season I didn't suck. I just didn't run.
I mean, your races were. I won't say anything.
You shut your mouth. If you have street tacos with meat, is the meat then street meat? Ew. Making them street tacos with street meat. I'm sure in some places that is the case. But here in America, we have to answer to a higher source. So. All right, no roadkill meat. I don't do that. We spent time talking about the good cuts of a cow. Do you really think? I even said I wouldn't even eat deer.
See, actually, brisket's even the worst cut of the cow too. Technically,
it was not good brisket.
I know, but I'm just saying, normally, like technically, brisket's the worst cut. That's why you gotta smoke it and barbecue it and everything
Is
to make
it?
it good. Yeah.
Wow, the only time anyone serves brisket, it's delicious because they've taken the time to do it right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. All right. Well, any last thoughts on the season?
It was a great season for the races where we had. I mean, all the races we had a lot of good racing. We had multiple championship winners. Yeah. I mean, I guess yeah, the final race for the spring. We'll go on hiatus until the fall, and I think in the meantime we'll do some LMU Le Mans Ultimate fun races in the summertime before we come back in the fall for the next road league.
Le
Yeah.
Mans Ultimate. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So, and anybody who's interested in Le Mans Ultimate Fun Summer League, you're going to want to get into our Discord channel. That's where you're going to find out information when we get things going for that. Ameer, thank you for putting together another season in our road racing league.
Yeah.
I appreciate it a ton, and I know the guys who ran had a good time, and we're all looking forward to that Le Mans Ultimate coming up in not too long.
Yeah.
Too bad on that crash. That was rough. We watched you. That was a tough one.
Yeah, it's all good. It's Nordschleife. I mean, at night, it's either you're going to survive or you're going to die. It's a 50-50 chance.
Yeah, I did. I think I did as well as I would have had I run. So that's okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, everyone. Well, that's going to do it for this one. I got to go eat. I'm starving. And then I got to get back to work because I'm running behind on everything. But get out there, do some sim racing. This is the Simpit. I'm Shaun Cole. That's Ameer Assad. And we will see you on the track.